Hello? We're live and I'm not even on Spaces. I'm going on Spaces right now. The mic is on. We've started. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the program. I hate that light. I have another light here. I brought another light. Let's see if it does anything. We've had, oh, look, that makes it all white and weird. This is too much and I have nowhere to like hang it. Does this help anything? I don't think this light helps anything. Maybe it does. We'll leave it like this. We'll keep it here. Okay. We'll leave it. I like this light now. That's better. If we had it turned slightly, if it was a little more askew, but askew in a good way. If it was just skew, I guess. That's okay. We can live with that. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the program. It is indeed Sunday. What if I put this light on? Welcome to me fucking around with lights. It's Sunday, and as such, there's a new episode of Hey W with Renee Paquette, who my understanding is kind of French. It was a nice time. I had not really experienced that much on camera with her before. I had heard good things about her. I hadn't really seen good things, so I had to experience it for myself, and that's exactly what I did. It's a wonderful episode. People seem to be loving it. You will also maybe note Matt Squirrel Squad on Instagram does a lot of art, and one of the things he did was a picture of me hosting Hey W, a little drawing like old cartoon style. AW saw it. AW liked it. They've now used it as their new watermark on the thumbnails. And I think they're going to get him to do some more stuff, maybe. So keep your eyes out. Support. I don't know where he lives, but we'll call him a local artist. He's certainly local to where he is. In the meantime, let's get a look at these underwear. They're the black Armani. There's a little shine. There's a little sheen. And it makes me feel almost like I'm going scuba diving, but in Greece or something. I insulted somebody once because they were Greek. I said, Greece is a place that, like, I don't need to visit. And I got it. It's beautiful. I understand history. And I'm not shaming anyone for being from there or visiting there. But, like, if I die without ever having visited Greece, I think I'm going to be okay. I don't think it's going to change. I don't think I'm going to be on my deathbed going, should have went to Greece. And I don't mean that as a slight on the Grecian people. Like, I want to make that clear. I just don't. That's just inside me. Similarly, I think if I pass away without ever having eaten another banana, I will be okay. I don't think it'll change my life that much. Maybe even an apple, I might have a slight regret. Let's say I'm in a house fire. I'm being burned alive, slowly, I guess. There would be a moment there where I go, should have had an apple. Let's talk to people here. Let's see. I'm sure I'm way behind in the chat. Oh, God, I'm so behind. Sire said, good morning, Shirley Dimple. That's adorable. You and Renee are the next Stiller and Mira. Well, we're not, because Stiller and Mira were married, and we're not married. And I can't, as of this writing, I can't think of an act, a man and woman act, where they weren't married. I'm trying to think of a parallel. Well, Regis and Kathy Lee. So there you go. That's fine. That's what we are. There you go. There you have it. Christine said, good morning in chat. Let's wake up and wrestle. Saturday morning wrestling needs to come back. Leo said, did you like the photo of CS, the man who can't be named here that I sent you? I don't know who CS is. CS Lewis, perhaps? Leo's found some app that makes people bald, takes a picture and puts like a baldness on them. And he's gone crazy. He's run amok, and it's very weird. Zoel said, good morning from a gusty Kansas. But they have guts, and they're blowing in the wind. I'm prepping my breakfast in a match now. People seem to like dinner in a match. People seem to like wake up and wrestle. Claire said, happy Sunday. Janet said, good morning. Vivian said, good morning. The inevitable second summer has arrived to make Arkansas a humid mess. And I had a teacher in 8th grade who said Arkansas. It was hard to wrap my head around. Rod said, you were so professional when she mentioned Stanley Tucci. You know how hard it is when people mention Stanley Tucci not to just derail the whole show and do 20 minutes on Stanley Tucci? The new season of Searching for Italy is coming out, and the commercials are airing. I just actually texted David about it. You see him go like, "Oh, can you see me behind this olive tree?" I was, "Oh, you're so funny. You're so funny, Stanley." The old olive tree routine. What a riot. Sean is here. John said, "Good morning, RJ. Your picture with Miss Taylor." Oh, Renee Taylor. "Unexpectedly took me right back to a time when life was much different. You're an amazing guy. Just incredible. Thanks again." Thank you for reminding me of that. I posted a picture of me in my underwear sitting on a woman's lap. That woman is not my grandmother, you idiots. Is Renee Taylor. She's been nominated for a Tony. She's been nominated for an Oscar. She's a wonderful playwright with her dear late husband, Joe Bologna. And yeah, maybe I will never explain why that picture is there. Nell said, "I'm here for RJ's mouth-to-mouth moment." And so is Renee Taylor, quite frankly. Mia said, "Morning, beautiful people." Diadea said, "Good morning, and everyone. I like how you say the word program." That's the proper pronunciation. Human Adventure says, "Good morning, RJ and all you beautiful people. While working yesterday, I heard the song Hungry Like the Wolf and immediately thought of the Lapsed Fan. If you want to go listen to me talk about Monster Brawl for over an hour, and some of you are sick enough that you want to, go listen to the Lapsed Fan. It's a fantastic time. And it is odd to look back on a movie from 10 years ago and go, what went right, if anything, and ultimately what went wrong. And it also tested my theory of nostalgia, where it's like, if you just wait long enough, people will pretend that they used to like something. I mean, people are writing, "Oh, I loved Monster Brawl." I'm like, fucking really? Where were you when it was out and we're trying to make money off of it? Where were you then? Rachel said, "Good morning." EJO has a Periwinkle tribute and said, "What is your favorite Simpsons episode?" I'm trying to think of a full episode that I went, wow. I really liked Homer and the Cannonball. I'm just thinking of jokes that I like. And my favorite was, it was on the TV, and I don't know what episode, but you heard the guy say, "We now return to the return of the Pink Panther returns." To me, that was like my favorite joke. It happened so quickly, it's so throwaway, and yet it's so stupid. And I also loved when Marge like almost has an affair with a French guy, and I remember the line of "What's brunch? I've never had that before." And the guy says, "It's not quite dinner, it's not quite lunch, but you'll love it, and it has a lovely slice of cantaloupe at the end." That I remember. Oh my god! And the one with Rodney Dangerfield as Mr. Burns' son. That one I liked too. That was good casting. I found the Bleeding Gums Murphy episode to be too emotional, too maudlin for my tastes. And then I liked all the Halloween ones too. I hope that's enough to satisfy you. Messani said, "Good morning." Clarence said, "Shiny black underwear." Oh yeah. Leo said, "Pogirl said old Joe Dombrowski was hot." I think young, and I think now Joe Dombrowski is also hot. Pam said, "Happy Sunday to all." Lawrence Cartier said, "Hello, today is my mom's 70th birthday." So Lawrence, this isn't about you. Happy birthday to Mrs. Cartier. Enjoy it. Josh said, "You're askew in a good way too. That's why I enjoy watching you." Wade said, "What's up, Rockford, Jefferson, Metropolis?" Speaking of Metropolis, next week, this coming Saturday, I will be in Detroit. There's an old wrestling show going on. I don't know who's going to be there, but they will be old. I can assure you of that. Mikey said, "Good morning. Love the new AEW. Had all the ups and downs of a great feud in only a few minutes. We make movies. I keep trying to determine who is the heel and who is the babyface." Well, I was, because I explicitly said so. Queen of the Ring is here. She is back. "Good morning, coffee people," she said. And I believe they're on today. If you want to talk all things Joshi, and I believe there's been an influx recently in AEW, which is a good thing. And maybe I'll finally get a Makito or a Lulu Pencil on the show. It would be nice. Go watch Church of Joshi at 12, I think, on their Twitch. Pam said, "Love the off-camera several liners between you and Renee." Okay, I guess there must have been an audio problem there. Let me go back. Mass Sanity said, "It's good that you got Renee on the show early. You need to keep an eye on her. She's shifty." Aaron said, good morning, friends. Rod said, Grease, the country, or Grease, the movie? I don't need to see Grease, the movie again either, only because I've seen it enough. Nail said, we are off the rails so early in this program. Megan said, so happy to be back. Missed a few weeks for midterms, but glad to be back with the cult. You got to go. You have to get your education. That's what I tell all the cult members. Rachel said, so you just woke up or something and decided you have an issue with Grease and bananas? No, this is a long-standing. I had thought about this over a period of years. I've kicked the tires on this. Trust me. Steven said, great job again on today's Hey W sessions. Thank you. Jimmy said, love the new Hey W with Renee. What a sweet, wholesome ending. Also, Andre the Giant is hot. It's been confirmed. That's my James Lipton, what do you want God to say is, do you think Andre the Giant's hot? Mikey said, your feelings on Grease were featured on one of the cameos I ordered. See? So Mikey is proof that it's not just right now. Queen said, RJ, any thoughts on Mario Cantone's appearance on The Masked Singer? This week was Mario's appearance. He was a giant ear of corn, and he sang Heaven on Their Minds from Jesus Christ Superstar. And Andrew Lloyd Webber was there, and he blew them out of the fucking water. You go, oh my God, stop the show. I think we need Mario dressed as corn singing all of Jesus Christ Superstar. It was incredible. And I know he was honored to sing in front of Andrew Lloyd Webber. And I think everyone went, wow, this corn is good. So yeah, it was great. And he was very happy with himself. And so was I. And I'd like to shuck him. Positively, he said, hi, RJ, enjoy your dark room. Say hi to Rachel Amber. I have absolutely no idea who that is. Pam has been a member for 6 months and said her birthday week was not too shabby. Well, it's over now, so deal with it. Jeff said, good morning. It is my birthday week. Oh, my, do I work at TGI Fridays? My birthday's not until Friday, but why not celebrate early? Well, this isn't your birthday week. I wouldn't count this. Tomorrow will begin it. Okay, can you hold out for one more day, Jeff? Miss Andy said, Stiller and Mira liked my mom's coffee. Miss Andy, I'm going to need the full context of that comment. Happy Human Adventures has a goldenrod request. Our daughter, 6 years old, came home the other day and said the substitute teacher was the lunch lady. Scene request. You're the lunch lady getting the news that she has to substitute teach first graders. Okay. I'm a lunch lady who's finding out she has to substitute teach first graders. I'm going to do it while I press my coffee. The lunch lady likes coffee or something. I just want to make sure it doesn't spill. Okay, let's begin. Another day, another dish, huh? Lasagna for everyone. And then we'll put a little lasagna on the side. We'll kind of burn it and say it's maybe like a meatloaf. And that'll be like a pseudo appetizer, but then it's really just more lasagna. Okay? All right, places, everyone. Let's feed children. Excuse me? What? Well, no, there's substitute teachers. It's just very important. You know, they're all there. You just call them up. They're waiting. They don't do anything. They're here to just pick up the slack. But I have to serve. We can't have them serving themselves. That is madness. That is chaos. They will not understand the rationing system. Things are baked and sliced accordingly. You can't just you get one kid who has 2 pieces of lasagna. It throws the entire, it's an ecosystem. And for me not to be there to supervise, oh, really? I would love to see you go do it. I would love to see you serve the lasagna. And what am I going to do with first graders? Huh? Hello, class. Whew. Please take your seats. We're going to begin. Microwaves. One of the greatest inventions known to man. Microwaves. The waves are small, but the result is macro quite frankly. It's so huge because it can heat up anything. No, that was a rumor. I don't think radioactivity is a thing. You know what I mean? It was like a panic, the way people were frightened of, oh, cigarettes are bad for you, that kind of thing. I don't think it sticked. So microwaves. What you're all gonna do is I'm gonna bring a microwave in. I'm gonna go away for 2 minutes. I'm gonna get a microwave. I'm gonna come back, and you're just gonna use it. You don't have to put anything in it, but put your hand inside, put your eyes, look, press your face onto the screen, enjoy it, experience it, become a better person. I'll be right back. And scene. That was a lunch lady teaching a bunch of first graders and went on I got so lost in the character. Mia said, I watched this week's episode of The Masked Singer and Mario's Just as Corn. We've discussed this already. I didn't know he could sing. Where the hell have you been, Mia? This man is a Broadway star. Dawn Marie said, good morning to you, sir. It's not that Dawn Marie. It's this Dawn Marie. Rachel has been a member for 17 months and said, I still owe you maybe for something later, but you helped me win an argument last night, and that was awesome. Rachel tweeted at me and wanted to know who was the comedian who pretended to be drunk, and he wasn't really drunk. So a lot of people don't know about this. There was a guy named Foster Brooks, and everyone thinks he was just drunk, and they shamed him. But it turned out he wasn't. It was an act. So she wanted that name, and I said Foster Brooks, and yeah. I also want to say I got this wonderful mug. Can we see this? Attaboy, Luther. That's John Knotts in The Ghost and Mr. Chicken. And it was also sent to Prince, which I posted on my Instagram. One of Paul Lynde and another of this same Don Knotts face, which I can't get enough of. This is the anti-Grease to me. The artist's name is Jeff Braun. And I thought he sent them to me, and he was like, I didn't send them to you. There was nothing on the. It's from Lady Cult, Retro Cult blog on Instagram. I don't no, she didn't put her name on it, so I didn't know. It's all Jeff Braun business. She did an interview on her blog with David Arquette about Bozo. Go enjoy that. Lady Cult, Retro Cult, there's two things. She knows everything weird and up my alley, and she's very sweet to send these to me, and I will drink them in relatively good health. Allie said, you and Renee had delightful common ground with Andre the Giant. He is the great uniter, and I think that's what they originally called him. Nail said, in everyone's defense, you're fully sitting on that lady, and you can barely see who it is. Like fully on her knee, like she's in charge of Christmas presents. And in many ways, it was a miracle for me. Leo said, I made photos of me as a girl on that app, and they were so pretty. I set up an OkCupid account and used the pics, and got over 100 likes in an hour. You're catfishing. You're catfishing. I hope you're proud of yourself. I hope Nev knocks at your door. Jimmy said, are you going to go back to playing Attack of the Killer Tomatoes after this episode? Seems like a stellar game. Also on my channel there, I played Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, and it was one of the worst games. Nug is calling. He's requested. Hello? Hello? Everyone, this Nug is here. Dear, go ahead.
Could you explain this Foster Brooks character to me?
Okay, yeah. So this Foster Brooks guy, if you're just tuning in or you're not familiar, well, tell me what you know about Foster Brooks.
Well, I know he was a raging alcoholic.
No. Okay, see, this is the thing. Everyone thinks that. And you go, well, this guy's a belligerent drunk. He's a mess. How's he in show business? The big secret, the bombshell here, is that he was just acting drunk, and he apparently apparently not even drunk at all. Like, apparently didn't even really drink.
So this guy who would, I wouldn't say tell jokes, but he would say a sentence or something on TV, and it would take him an hour to get out a sentence because he'd stumble and burp and stutter. He was just pretending to do that?
Yeah, so he really wasn't like a comedian in that sense. He was more of a performance artist, and it was almost like, I guess, like a magic trick.
It changes my perspective on a lot of things. Now I'm starting to wonder if Dean Martin really drank.
Right? But you are someone, you have a drink previously.
I have, in the past, a long time
yes.
ago, I would have a drink.
And you don't anymore. You're like, I've had enough of it.
Yeah, I drank enough.
Yeah. So, but do you remember when you were drunk and you used to like sound like how Foster Brooks would sound?
I got more sad.
Oh, okay.
And just would sit in a corner.
So you wouldn't go like, oh, this is lovely.
Yeah, I wouldn't try to tell the story of what I did today and take 45 minutes to say I went to the bank.
Oh, okay. So then, no wonder you didn't understand him. You had an entirely different experience.
Oh, absolutely, I did.
Because me, when I drank, and again, I also don't even care for the drinking anymore because it was ridiculous. I always had the urge to speak publicly.
Yeah, that was the part of when I first quit drinking and I would go to comedy shows and such, I would stand around after the show while everybody drank their drinks and got pretty hammered. And I would say to myself, boy, I can't believe I have to stick around and listen to these idiots yap about nonsense. And then just one day my brain went, oh man, I can't believe I have to stick around. Oh wait, I don't. Bye.
You can just leave. Saying goodbye is, but then, so these people would drink after the shows and they would say, hey, Nug, how, like that?
Yeah, I could just walk away from a Foster Brooks type if I wanted to.
And let's tell everyone, do you remember the title of the Foster Brooks VHS cover I sent you this week?
Oh, jeez. I remember it was his last show.
Mm-hmm.
And he had many faces.
Yeah.
I do not remember the title.
Foster Does More in 94. The year was 19.
Yes, and then I remember in Foster in 95 was not alive.
Correct. And at the morgue there, the coroner was like, okay, I'm just going to put alcoholism. And one of his relatives came in and said, wait a minute. You don't understand. You know, check his...
You must have had to tell him that it was all a trick.
Yeah.
All a trick of the light.
Right. All a ruse, and they checked his organs, and they were like, this man doesn't look like he's had a drop of alcohol at all. And the coroner was just flummoxed.
It's mind-blowing to me that this is a true story.
Well, and people just think he was this drunken guy. This drunk, you know, there's all these drunken comedians get up and drink and say stupid stuff. But this man was actually a genius.
Because he pretended to be drunk and say stupid stuff.
Yeah, like what if we do this stupid stuff intentionally with full control of our faculties?
This is like the story of Robin Williams auditioning for, I think, maybe Mork and Mindy and doing it all with a Russian accent. And then after it was all over, dropping the Russian accent, everybody in the casting room was like, oh my God.
Which is something he blatantly stole from Andy Kaufman.
Exactly.
Right. So I would say Robin stole from Andy, and Andy must have stole from Foster Brooks. And no one can steal from Foster Brooks because he's, you know, almost like a Thomas Edison in that sense, where you go, he came and then there was light.
Yeah, he walked so we could run.
Yeah, or stumble and go.
He belched so we could stumble.
Yeah. And I just love how it said he does more in 94, because that's so true to who he was. It's this, what I do, and more of it this year.
More of it. The rest of the title was cut off. It was Foster Brooks does more of the same.
Mm-hmm. And if I may digress, you are one of the few people who has worked with both me and Renee.
This is true. I have worked with both of you.
And what would you like in the experience to be like? How would you contrast, like, how are they different for you?
I would say they're very different. Working with Renee, not to say that you are not a professional, but Renee is a total professional, top to bottom.
Yeah, she's cold. She's devoid of warmth and emotional instincts.
But not only that, but the similarities are that you both do your homework. You both do your prep for whatever show you're working on.
Yeah.
Even if you're doing an improv show, you're getting into the right headspace and preparing yourself to make up whatever.
Yeah.
Renee is copious notes. You both have copious notes for the various shows you host.
Right. She just has kind of an inability of attaching her heart to it. She's more of a machine, like a Mike Douglas in that sense.
Well, she has had a lot of kicks at the can. Like, she's an old pro.
Mm-hmm.
She knows she can kind of turn it off and sleepwalk through it if she wants to.
Right. And when have you seen her in a waking state?
Once or twice.
Oh, okay. That's fine. And similar, I guess I'm like a Foster Brooks in that sense where I will show up to an improv show having already written jokes.
That's the best way to prepare for
right?
an improv show. Pre-write your jokes.
Yeah, and it's basically, once you get to lie to the audience about the premise that we're making this up as we go, then you're really, really smooth sailing. And
as an improviser, that's the one you look for, right? You have that in your back pocket, and you're like, "Can I get a occupation? Dentist. I heard lumberjack."
Correct.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, or that's just why I get my father to come to the shows as sort of a plant.
Disapproves of your shawl.
Yeah. Yes, my father saw me wrestle as Babyface and was not crazy about the shawl that I had.
It's a choice.
By the way. My grandfather yesterday asked me if I get paid for AEW to tell you what he thinks of it. Yeah.
That's nice. At those moments, like, it must be satisfying to say, yes, I do.
Yes, actually I do. And then there's an air of disbelief.
I was with my father in the car last week, and I got a phone call from my agent that said I booked a day on a movie, and my dad was super impressed.
And then did he say, like, because when they hear movie, they think of like an actual movie.
Well, and then of course the first question is, when can I see it? Like, it hasn't even shot. Like, we haven't even begun to shoot the movie
yes.
yet.
Buy your popcorn and line up. Now, your father, and this is a fact, is a legitimate fan of Foster Brooks.
One of the biggest.
And do you think your confusion around Foster Brooks is perhaps a projection of your relationship with your father?
I think my dad would show me a lot of Foster Brooks and say, "Get a load of this guy. Mm-hmm. This guy's the greatest."
Right.
And, it was a lot like, if my dad thinks he's the best, I should do the same thing.
Right. And that's what drove you to drink.
Well, because I thought that's the only way you could be funny.
Sure. Of course. Furthermore, will you be coming to Old Wrestling?
I think I will be coming to Old Wrestling in fabulous Detroit City.
Yeah.
And then I was going to ask, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I was going to ask about next week's Coffee in the Underwear show. What about it? Will you be doing it live?
I think I will be. I see no reason not to do it live, unless there's, some sort of accident.
No, I'm just curious. I mean, you could be live outdoors. You could be anywhere. You could be in Detroit. You could be in all sorts of places. I could be live from Detroit, and it may be it depends what's going on there, This is true. The parameters, the legalities, and so forth. But, you will be at Old Wrestling. Dalton will be at Old Wrestling. Anyone else? Aiden Prince will be at Old Wrestling. Okay, beyond the wrestlers, though, a ragtime band will be at Old Wrestling. Ragtime Rick and Banjo Betty, who I fell in love with last time. Well, and that was my experience the last time I went to Old Wrestling was that band provided everybody's entrance music, and they were fantastic. Yes, and I can't tell you the joy in my face to be able to find someone that I could say, "Hey, do you know Swanee River?" And they go, "What key?" Yes, they just start counting. And they said, "You people are fantastic. You're a blessing." Similar, I was just thinking about this. You know how I do the improv shows, and you plan stuff, and then you lie that you haven't planned stuff. Yes. Exactly. Maybe that's why wrestling was so good and popular for so long when people thought it was real. Yeah, because you had it all worked out ahead of time. Yeah, and then once people realized you were planning it and rehearsing it, they must have all went, well, surely it could be a little better. I think maybe once people found out that it was all planned ahead of time, that then the wrestlers opted to go the other way and just start making it up on the spot, and then that's when it became not great. Right. So I think I'm going to try to retrofit. I'm going to try to take a step forwards via backwards and say, hey, let's try some improvisational professional wrestling. Hey guys, let's just get in our tights and get in that ring and do some goofy make-em-ups. Can someone give us a suplex? Can I get a submission hold from someone in the audience, please? Okay, we take you now to a body slam. Oh! Are you going away? No, that was me being body slammed. Oh, okay. Theater of the mind. Sorry. Anyway, thank you for clarifying Foster Brooks, helping the people, because they just think he's a drunk. Clarifying Foster Brooks to me, I didn't know that was all an act.
So. Yeah. So again, to confirm, Foster Brooks was not a legitimate drunk.
Right.
He was an actor.
Interesting.
Who was totally, my understanding, completely sober and only pretending to be drunk.
I'm going to do a little more research on this today.
Yeah, please. Watch the videos. Watch his eyes. They're clear.
They're not as blurry as you would think?
No. And I think he was one of the
few. Was he blinking? Was he blinking a lot to cover that up?
I think he put a little Visine in. But I think he was really, truly one of the first straight-edge comedians.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The real pioneer, Foster Brooks. Anyway, I will let you go. I will see you soon.
Yes, you will.
All right. Okay, goodbye.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Yes, of course. That was the wonderful, delightful Nug Nargang, comedian, writer, actor. He was in a movie with Philip Seymour Hoffman, which I once told Nug was wanted to do ring announcing, and I had suggested it to this booker. Nug is a fantastic host, comedy shows, anything. So I said to the booker, hey, Nug is here. He can do great ring announcing if you ever need whatever. And the guy said, tell him to get some more work on the indies first. And my response was, he was in a movie with Philip Seymour Hoffman. That was my argument winner. He wasn't just in the background. He spoke to Philip Seymour Hoffman in the movie. He could not be more in a movie with Philip Seymour Hoffman, but he needs to work the indies more. All right, I'm way behind on the comments. Shit, sorry everybody. I'm gonna power through. So, well, I had a chat. I had a nice chat. Here we go. Let me go back to the beginning here. There's so many requests. I just got so caught up in this Foster Brooks character. Nell said Dalton is going to be at Old Wrestling. Yes, that's correct. We've established that. SM said, damn, RJ is being salty on birthday weeks. I'll keep my mouth shut. Nobody cares about your birthday, SM. Christine said, happy birthday, SM. Again, this is supposed to be about me. Miss Sanity said, my mom helped out at a local theater for a while. Stiller and Mira would often show up there, and my mom would give them coffee. And Mira would tell her that it was good. I wish there was more to the story. I will say this, Miss Annie. I have no stories about Stiller and Mira personally. I don't, and I really, really wish I did. So the fact that you have one and I don't, that story is more than good enough. I have a Dick Cavett story. I have a Lisa Rinna story-ish. Well, I saw her once at a restaurant. I don't have something like that. Molly said, this is my first time here. What the fuck is going on? Molly, hello, welcome. And whatever you think is going on is basically what happens the entire time I do this. Neil said, Jeff, buy your wife a cameo of RJ dropping terrible hints that you want an RJ birthday cameo. People do. These couples who will order cameos back and forth. I'm like an arbiter. I always consider myself a social lubricant. I'm good at delivering those kind of messages. Rowdy Katie said, thanks for making me aware of Allison Rosen. I've been digging into her older episodes this week. Dalton and I, and me solo, have appeared on Allison Rosen's podcast. Same with Colt Cabana, and I was a gateway to her into the world of wrestling. So she's just going to lose her mind at some point and completely break. Queen said, question, what flavor Bailey's Irish cream do you like in your coffee? Did you miss the whole conversation on why we don't drink in honor of Foster Brooks? I just want coffee and I'm fine. Mikey said, there's a genuine shortage of substitute teachers. Never gotten to lunch lady level of desperation yet in my area. Oh, I had some brutal substitute teachers. And then I got older and then like, the shittiest people you knew were also substitutes. Like they just became substitute teachers. It's almost like getting your real estate license. You're like, oh, okay. Are you sure you want to be in charge of kids for a day? You want to be in charge of kids and also somehow have zero responsibilities? SM has a request. She wants a dramatic reading of Bitch by Meredith Brooks. I've never heard this song before. I don't know Meredith Brooks. I don't know if this is a country music or a hip hop thing. Okay, here we go. Here's a dramatic reading of Bitch by Meredith Brooks. I hate the world today. You're so good to me. I know, but I can't change. Tried to tell you, but you look at me like maybe I'm an angel underneath, innocent and sweet. Yesterday, I cried. You must have been relieved. I can't understand how you'd be so confused. I don't envy you. I'm a little bit of everything, all rolled into one. Oh, now I know this song. I didn't know it was this woman. I'm a bitch. I'm a lover. I'm a child. I'm a mother. I'm a sinner. I'm a saint. And I do not feel ashamed. I'm your hell and I'm your dream. I'm nothing in between. You know you wouldn't want it any other way. So take me as I am. This may mean you'll have to be a stronger man. Rest assured that when I start to make you nervous and I'm going to extremes, tomorrow I will change and today won't mean a thing. I'm a bitch. I'm a lover. I'm a child. I'm a mother. I'm a sinner. I'm a saint, and I do not feel ashamed. I'm your hell. I'm your dream. I'm nothing in between. Just know you wouldn't want it any other way. That was Bitch by Meredith Brooks. I can't help but think she could have titled this better. I mean, it's not just I'm a bitch, I'm a bitch, I'm a bitch. She's so many other things. She should have just called it I'm a. And I think it would have been stronger. It's almost the reverse of that Steely Dan Joker Toker thing song. Allie said, better will they, won't they? 90s TV couple. Fran Fine and Maxwell Sheffield, or suddenly Susan Keene and Jack Richmond? Fran and Maxwell. That was the whole. Susan had a magazine to run. She was just dealing with a lot more stuff. Fran and Max, that was basically all they did on that show was the will they, won't they, which is great. And they did it with Cece and the butler too, whose name is not coming into my head, and I'm sure someone will scream it in the chat shortly. Mia has been a member for 3 months. Dramatic reading of Offspring's Pretty Fly for a White Guy. Okay, fine. If that's what you're interested in. Pretty Fly for a White Guy lyrics. You do these songs and then they don't go well. It's not, give it to me, baby. Uh-huh. Give it to me, baby. Uh-huh. Give it to me, baby. Uh-huh. And all the girls say, I'm pretty fly for a white guy. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis. You know, it's kind of hard just to get along today. Our subject isn't cool, but he fakes it anyway. He may not have a clue, and he may not have a style, but everything he lacks, well, he makes up in denial. So don't debate or play or straight. You know, he really doesn't get it anyway. Gonna play the field and keep it real. For you, no way. For you, no way. So if you don't rate, just overcompensate. At least you know you can always go on Ricky Lake. The world needs wannabes. Hey, do the brand new thing. I'm not going to do the give it to me part again. And all the girls say, I'm pretty fly for a white guy. He needs some cool tunes. Not just any will suffice. But they didn't have ice cubes. So he bought Vanilla Ice. Now cruising in his Pinto, he sees homies as he pass. But if he looks twice, they're going to kick his lily ass. I think you got the gist. That's enough. This shit is too long. Yeah, and it goes on from there, Mia. Jesus. Spot Center said Psycho Mike versus Charles Crowley from Smash Wrestling should be on everyone's viewing list today after this program. Thank you for reminding me. And I will always say Psycho Mike is a genius and I love him. And to me, he checks all the boxes of what you should be in a wrestler. He's stupid, but also credible. I feel like I lack the credibility, so I get jealous of him sometimes. But he's also a genius. Go watch some Psycho Mike today. If you watch this show, you watch Hey W with Renee, and then just type in Psycho Mike and enjoy yourself. Please, someone just don't even sign him. Throw money at him. Just if you see him on the street, throw cash at him. He's not, in need of it. I'm just as a tribute. Leo said, I also sent RJ solid proof of Ethan Page's Herbalife involvement. DM and asked to see it. Leo is obsessed and thinks Ethan Page is involved in some sort of Herbalife pyramid scheme. Rob said Dean Martin had a great recipe burger published. There was also a Conway Twitty burger recipe. And I'm not joking. And I've pitched this multiple times, including to CBC, who was so annoying about it. I wanted to those old recipes, like there's a B. Arthur, like Jello. I wanted to do a web series of making those and talking about the deceased celebrity. That was my dream. And they're like, oh, there's legal issues. I'm like, really? We're going to get sued by the barefoot estate of B. Arthur? Mass Andy said, Foster Brooks makes his last public appearance at Zsa Zsa Gabor's roast. And RJ was at her husband's birthday party. I was at the late Zsa Zsa Gabor's husband's birthday party. There's another guy. After you look up Psycho Mike, look up Frederick Prinz von Anhalt. And if you want to hear the story of me at her husband's birthday party, there's an episode of more content. It's I think it's called Zsa Zsa's husband's birthday party. Leo has a request. Ethan Page trying to cut a heel promo, but he also tries to sell Herbalife during it. You're a sick person, Leo, but let me give this a shot. Okay, Ethan Page cutting a promo and selling his pyramid scheme. I'm doing the dimple thing. For those of you in spaces, I'm starting with his smile thing. How did I get such tight cheeks? How did I get such tight titties? I think that's what he calls them. They're a lot tighter than yours, all of you out in that audience in this bad town. I'll tell you how. Greens powder with vitamins and minerals packed into them. Yeah, this town, this shithole known as Toledo is lacking in vitamins, vegetables, and minerals. And quite frankly, I'm in charge. I'm like a modern major general of them all. And that's why I look so fantastic. And that's how I'm able to afford such expensive shirts that are so light. And because the fabric is woven so well, it prevents me from sweating out here. And you're sweating and you're all flabby because you don't have the greens necessary. And but you could if you invest in a product by investing in yourselves. You can do this. I can give you life via an herb, or if you wish, via a herb, and you will love it. And if you want to be firm and stay firm, you live the herb a life. Thank you very much. That was Ethan Page cutting a promo, and I hope that Leo has a sickness. I don't know why he always wants these. Mass Andy said Foster Brooks was mentioned during the recent Chevy Chase appearance on the Dana Carvey David Spade podcast. I listened to that. I listened to Chevy Chase, a modern podcast that Chevy Chase was on, and it's a trip. And sometimes, especially with older people, you have to steer them out of burying themselves, ruining it for themselves just by speaking. And the hosts did their best. Petey said, great episode. I don't even know what he's referring to. Dawn said, excellent coffee mug. I'm all about a good mug, especially ones with silly, clever messages. Jimmy said, how great was Dalton on Dynamite? I love seeing the party peacock. Wasn't that fantastic? When he went into his tights. I think he was looking for his cell phone or something. And then he panicked. He didn't have anything there. So he just gave Jargo the middle finger. I liked it, and I want to see more of it. And they got him a throne. I don't have a graphic, and they got him a throne? Jesus. As Sweet Monkey said, hashtag Peacock Power. Megan said, your dad being the plant is amazing. My dad is not a plant. That was a joke when it comes to improv shows. I hate when he comes to shows because I always think about I want to make people laugh, and then when there's one person I know, I didn't expect to perform for my father. Now it tips the scales, and then all of a sudden I'm worried about my father being there. So I always tell people who don't, like, if you come to something, don't tell me you're there. Sit in the back. I don't want to know you're there. Like, thank you for coming. I appreciate the support. I just don't want to know about it. Rod said, now that Foster Brooks' case has been cracked, can you explain Mel Tillis to the masses? We get too deep into conspiracy theories there. That's a lot. Christine is going to Old Wrestling. Steven said, a mention must be made to the late John Dunsworth when talking about people only acting drunk. He did a fantastic job as Jim Leahy on the Trailer Park Boys. That was like a modern drunk. That was more of a character. He was just an asshole too, which was fantastic. Foster Brooks was a little more pure of heart But he was fantastic. Thank you for bringing that up. Typo said, God, I wish I could I wish I could get to Detroit. Old wrestling sounds like everything I want in life. It also streams. It doesn't stream live because I got to put filters on it. But I think IWTV, I think you can find old episodes of old wrestling. Matt Sandy said, do you know if old wrestling plans on doing anything in the New York, New Jersey, or Philly areas? So far, no. They only do like 2 or 3 shows a year because they do it right. Like they do it correctly. The graphics, the tickets, it's like I hate using this term. It's like an experience as opposed to just a wrestling show. Like they leave no stone unturned. And if you like to go to one of those pioneer villages and you expect it to be tight, you know what I mean? When people are wearing modern glasses at black on black Nikes, it takes you out of it. Not at old wrestling. That does not happen there. John said, is this Jericho? And I have no idea what that means exactly. Nell said, Amanda said, I'm so excited for old wrestling and to finally get an 8x10. I don't think they used that term back in the day. Rod said, I remember hearing Foster Brooks had apple juice in his glass. I heard that about Dean Martin. And similarly, Johnny Carson was considered, Ed McMahon was jokingly labeled as the drinker, but apparently it was Johnny. And Johnny, I think, drunkenly heckled Jerry Vale once and ruined his performance. And they joked about it on the show. Christine has gifted 5 memberships to everybody. This is adorable. Janet, Zoel, Icy, Human Adventures, and Matt Thomas all got memberships. Thank you, Christine. So sweet of you. Rachel said, how about a hair shakeout? We're full of just belligerent requests today. Yeah, how about it? Does that work for everyone? Are we fucking happy now? I sure am. What else is here? Kyle has a Periwinkle tribute saying, yo, RJ, hey, W, always makes me smile. Thank you. Thank you. I believe so far we've put up 29 episodes by my count. So next week's episode will be 30. That's magical and momentous. And I hope we keep it going now that we've invested, we have these little illustrations. And if you love the art, as I do in that thumbnail, please tell people in charge, Shop AEW or any whatever, they're adorable. If you want stuff, people are like, you should have more merch. I'm like, I'm not the merch guy. If you want it, tell the people in charge. You tell me, like, I'm going to go knock on the door and show them my phone and say, look at these tweets. Spot Center said, I lived by the rule of not notifying you. Saw you a bunch. Never told you I was there. But I wasn't Spot Center then. I was Indie Wrestling Icons and Clarkson Rules. All the synonyms of Spot Center. Graham said, when are you and Taz going to start a YouTube podcast together? I would ask Taz. Again, ask the other people. Jeff said, the thing I made that didn't look like the picture was a sandwich. What? Neil said, the hair shakeouts are so aggressive lately. I was like itching my scalp, basically. Mia has a request. Sing Georgia on My Mind. I guess in tribute to, I did a reaction to the Designing Women intro, and I loved it. It made me so happy. Georgia, Georgia, the whole day through. Just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. Mm-hmm. I said, Georgia, Georgia, no peace I find. Just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. Dun, 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 dun. Other arms reach out to me. Other eyes smile tenderly. Still in peaceful dreams I see the road leads back to you. Oh, Georgia. Yes, Georgia. No peace I find. Just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. That was the old crooner. That little drop, like it fell off a cliff. Yo. Bazit said, hello from Pakistan, my naked friend. Oh, I've missed his thing here. Let me go back. Hello from Pakistan, my naked friend. Jesus, where did it go? This poor guy. Your hair is on fleek, as the cool kids would say. I can't believe I scrolled back for that. Janet said, thank you, Christine. I never actually pay for a membership thanks to you. So sweet. Rob is excited that Bazit is here. Amanda said, because you look great today. Oh, see you Saturday. Amanda is also going to Old Wrestling. I need to get out to more shows to actually see people. Maureen said, he looks like Paul Stanley. Go to hell, Maureen. Spot Center said 29 plus 1 equals 30. This is getting Sesame Street up in here. I was an Electric Company guy. It was too hip for me. Morgan Freeman was too hip for me. Nail said, Bazit, we love when you say hello to your naked friends. We look forward to it. Don't encourage him. Jeff said, you skipped a whole section of comments, pal. Yeah, well, I'm trying to move through as quickly as possible. I have a lot that I haven't even gotten to yet. Damn it. Mia said, because of Christine, I have my membership. Issy is now using the emojis because she's currently a member. Zoel said, here's my monetary request for RJ Reacts to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers from 1993 to 1999. The originals, the Thunder, Zero, Turbo, and In Space. I'll have to find them. I'm sure they're out there. I will get them. I have a couple that are lined up. I have a couple videos of intros. I don't even know what they are, but I know they're there. Maybe 4 or 5 of them. But I'm going to add this to the list. I'm going to get to it. Don't worry. Rob has been waiting for Bazit to say naked friend since 9:30. Almost an hour. 52 minutes of waiting for one guy to call me naked. Austin said, you got to love those Georgia ladies. Rachel said, hair shakeouts and my naked friend can't go wrong with that. Sweet Monkey Tuesday said, has Jade been on Hey W? I think it would be great. I have a request in. I would love to have her on the show. And if you would like to have her on the show, tell her. Encourage her. Go tweet her. She seems to answer tweets. Rob said, since you missed it, was that a hockey stick holding the Hey W sign with Renee? Yeah, so that is the smaller Hey W sign. I guess they didn't want to bring the truck to Canada or something. So they have the smaller portable one that if you see me sometimes at FanFest, I will have it. And it was errantly left in a restaurant once. And yeah, that's a hockey stick. And I don't know why. I didn't ask for it. Everyone's like, oh, it's a Canadian tribute. It's like, no, it's not. It's always been like that. And it's a little annoying, but that's the way it is. Also, remember everyone, the Wardlow episode, we had those comfy red chairs. And they were like, this is amazing. You guys are going to love it. And, you got chairs, big comfy chairs, upgrading the budget. And it's like, I said, no, we found them in the place we were filming. You stupid. And nobody listened to me. And now we don't have them anymore. So there you go. Nug is back Nug has quantum leaped into the comments. RJ, I did some cursory research, and it turns out you may be right about Foster Brooks. That was always my gut instinct when I saw him. But also, I didn't want to just throw out misinformation. I understand I'm, kind of influential. I have a platform here, and I didn't want to just it's speculative. I didn't want to just throw it out as fact. It's something I had heard, certainly something I had believed. But, when you have a platform like this, you should exercise a degree of responsibility. And I didn't want people thinking that Foster Brooks is not actually drunk if he was drunk at all. So thank you for fact checking that for me. And again, I encourage people to do their own research about Foster Brooks and make your own decision there, whether he was actually inebriated. And then it's that for all of 1994. Jeff said, I was referring to Renee's cookbook, Messy in the Kitchen. Let's give that a plug. And how I made a few recipes from her book on my cooking show on Facebook, and one of them didn't look like the picture, but was still edible, that being a sandwich. So what you're saying is, her cooking book isn't that useful. I think, Jeff, I'm going to hazard a guess, you probably could have just made a sandwich on your own. SpotCenter said, I made peanut butter the proper way yesterday, with real peanut butter, not powdered peanut butter, because it was convenient. Well, look at you, SpotCenter. You're so proud. Grinding nuts. Bazit said, I grew up on Power Rangers Time Force. It's too good in my head. That's why I never go back to watch it again. You're so smart. Nostalgia has to stay in the past. When you bring it to the front, you go, what the hell is this? And if you want to hear me talk more about Monster Brawl, go listen to my appearance this week on The Lapsed Fan. SpotCenter said, do you have a favorite Jesse the Mark story? No, I don't know who that is. Nell said, went from the fancy chairs to hanging out next to the props. I mean, it looked horrible. There's a run down, a fence, blue lighting on a fence. It was ridiculous. Sweet Monkey said, should have stolen the chairs. Just chuck them on the truck. That truck, I want to take a picture of that truck. I'm so happy that it's an honor just to have that small amount of space on that truck. To have the AEW signs. I have 2 of them and the on-air sign. I guess just go on the truck and then just bang around in the back there. Christine said the Toronto AEW set is the worst so far, and I love it. It was upstairs in the Coca-Cola Coliseum, and it's just like storage stuff, and then the sign, and then us. Austin said, by the way, your hair is out, and with your mustache, you kind of look like Dr. Frankenstein. I don't know what you're watching, Austin, but thank you. Rob said, this week was filmed in the Boiler Room since Darby moved into Sting's dressing room. Yeah, we shuffled the deck a little bit. SpotCenter said, everyone thought Mitch Hedberg was on drugs. Well. T. Fuller said, Mom was a Foster Brooks contemporary. Oh my God. T. Fuller's mom was married to a famous singer at the time, and she said he was a teetotaler. Let me look. Let's get the definition of teetotaler up. Teetotaler meaning. Let's see what it means. A person who never drinks alcohol. As I had said, I didn't know that I've heard it used as, I didn't know that was literally the definition. Straight edge. I fucking said it. Foster Brooks was straight edge. We've confirmed it now. And then Nug did his research, and T. Fuller has now divulged a teetotaler. SM said, I'm just going to say it. I feel about Renee the way RJ feels about Grease and bananas. I can't say I disagree with you. Sweet Monkey Tuesday said, I made a sandwich the proper way yesterday with a sandwich, not a powdered sandwich. You see them at the store, you know? Sprinkle this, have a sandwich. This is ridiculous. I want a sandwich the old way, like 2 slices of bread. Leo said, would you rather watch a 7-year-old stand-up comedian or a 96-year-old stand-up comedian? Oh my God, 96-year-old. And I feel like I have before. Mike Ferrari said, how long do you and Danhausen go back? You two need to do a podcast or something together. Don't we do enough content together? Jesus. People just ask for more. Like the career, you do something, your career doesn't grow. People just ask for more of the same, and then you just burrow yourself into a hole. I think you need to go like all the videos at least, Mike, and then go share them, then go tweet about them, and then come back. I wrestled Danhausen before he was Danhausen. That's how long we go back. Typo said, whoa. I don't know. There's nothing to do with me. Nail said, Danhausen gave that set free exposure in the Vloghausen. Oh, yeah, the ever lucrative Vloghausen. The bad set is very popular. And I will say, that set also appears on another vlog that will come up at some juncture. Mia said, yay, go Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Jeff said, no, this was a fancy one. French onion soup, grilled cheese. Honestly, in the episode, I paraphrased the Simpsons reference where Homer was putting the grill together. I don't know what that is. Oh, now he's wrote it. Jeff said, man, that's a fine-looking grilled cheese. Why doesn't mine look like that? Very nice, Jeff. Bassett said, I remember watching George Carlin's 2005 special about death with the caskets and everything. Didn't get much out of it since I was too young, but it had me hooked to comedy. And don't watch it again because you'll think this isn't very good. Sweet Monkey Tuesday said a teetotaler is someone that charges you to play golf. A teetotaler doesn't drink. Totally tea. And that's where it comes from. Josh said, if AEW is the movie broadcast news, Renee is Holly Hunter, you're Albert Brooks. Who would be William Hurt? That's a fantastic question. Billy Gunn. Ali said, you do just the right amount of content with Danhausen to keep us wanting more, but definitely not too much. Thank you. Forai said, what's your thought on superheroes boxing? Nobody threw a better left hook than Frank Gorshin. Zoel said, go Kansas City. Have a great week, cult members. Nail said, I left it too late. She's hoping to wear different wrestler shirts for every treatment she has at the hospital. I'll share it again on my Twitter. I don't know what you're talking about, but please share it so I can see it. And, oh yeah, by the way, Key to the City members, you have until the end of today to get your questions in. I'm recording the Ask RJ tomorrow. T. Fuller said, RJ Province, what's your dream sandwich? The one I can eat in peace. Go click, enjoy, buy things. There's shirts on sale. More than that, go watch the latest AEW with Renee and tweet and like and share it and tell people. If you want other stuff, tell other people in charge. Let's get a final look at these shiny black underwear. Thank you to everyone, and especially Foster Brooks. Until next time, Godspeed.